Welcome to issue 1 of The Video Magazine. In this 90-minute programme we have action from the Beaucaire International and an opportunity to look at this year's championship contenders. We interview Stefan Everts, Talon Voland, Kurt Nickel, Bob Moore and Marnique Bavotes. Then we move on to round 1 of the World 250 Championship from Talavera de la Reina, Spain. Then we move on to the Open World Championship from Portugal, 2-stroke versus 4-stroke. There's World 125 Grand Prix action from Italy. Will Alex Buzard be a serious title contender? This class is full of young French and Italian talent. We come back to Northern Europe for a visit to Valkenswaard for round 2 of the World 250 Championship. And finally it's back to sunny Spain for the second 125 World Championship round. That's all in this issue of Motovision, the video magazine. With 1994 World 250cc champion Greg Albertine racing in the USA for 1995, there seems little doubt that several riders will be hoping to take his place and the world title. It's easy to forget, but Albertine only won 2 Grand Prix in 1994. Belgium's Stefan Everts must be favourite, and with 5 Grand Prix overall victories to his credit in 1994, it's difficult to argue against him. But to be realistic, Everts should have won in 92, 93 and 94. One of the world's most talented riders he surely is, but you still need some luck. Unfortunately, Everts gets very little. Most fellow competitors would say you make your own luck. Everts, an accomplished competitor on all terrain, will be there at the end of the series. How well he copes with 1995 will depend on how much he's been affected by his failure to win titles in the past 3 years.
1995 now in front of us, world champion this year.
Well, I'm trying for many years, so it has to happen one year, and hopefully it's this year.
Is it difficult to look back and when you have been the most talented rider without question in nearly everybody's eyes? Is it difficult then not to win the world title?
Yeah, it was very difficult after Germany. I had a few months I wasn't feeling not so well. I didn't care about anything, but that's all forgotten now, and it's a new season and a new start. I have a new mechanic, some new team riders, so I'm looking forward for the new season, and I think it will be a good season.
Yves de Maria, who won 6 Grand Prix in 1994 to finish 3rd, shocked many by his speed and consistency. De Maria is advised by Jackie Vimond, so he'll be well prepared for 40-minute motos, and with Yamaha factory machines, he'll be a serious contender. De Maria retains his Oxbow clothing contract, so he'll not wear the BFE King's distinctive racewear. Being a graduate of French schoolboy motocross and it being the world's strongest, it gives the French competitor an air of confidence for the future. Marnique Bavotes moves into the #1 spot of the Suzuki official factory team, a move which just might convince Marnique that he can be world champion. Talented and strong, Bavotes can ride any terrain. He's comfortable with his team, and if he can start consistently, he will be in with a chance.
Marnique Bavotes, every year we say, you have a chance this year, you have a chance. From 91, 92, 93. But really, this year you have a very good chance, I think.
Yeah, I think so, because I'm riding with the same bike now. 2 years now at Suzuki. Before it was like Yamaha, Kawasaki.
And this is the first time you have done.
Yeah, I did it already with Kawasaki in 89, 90. But now it's 2 years in a row with the Suzuki. And Craig has gone to the States, and so I'm now #1. And they expect to do good, and I hope I can do it.
And the 40-minute races? This will suit you, I think.
Yeah, I love it, because many times last year I was behind 3-4 riders on the end, and then it was over, and now it's 40 minutes, so it's 10 minutes more. So maybe I can catch those guys then.
And the tracks, you have no problem. You are really good on hard tracks. For a Belgium, eh?
Yeah, I'm actually, if I have to be honest, I don't like sand anymore.
Really?
Because I'm running a lot on hard tracks, and I like it now more on hard tracks than in sand. In sand I'm really good, but if you remember 4 or 5 years ago, I was really good in sand. Now it's not so good anymore, but still good enough to be in
win.
top 3 or win.
So you are looking forward to the season very much?
Yeah.
With confidence?
Yeah, for sure. think Greg is going to States, Bobby is going back to the 250 and Tractor and those guys, so it's going to be hard again, like every year, but I was fourth and the end of the season was really good for me last year, and I hope I can start that form from the last year.
Britain's Kurt Nicol pulled out of the 1995 British Championship in order to concentrate on the World Championship. Nicol is delighted to be riding the factory Honda, and with his attitude there's little doubt he'll be well prepared. Good physical shape and being consistent week in, week out will put him near the top. But he needs to win races to stand a chance of winning his first world title. If Nicol wins in Switzerland and Austria on their natural terrain type tracks, he will be in with a chance. Verna Dewitt is a teammate of Bavot's, and Dewitt has improved and is well worth his place on the Suzuki team. An excellent starter and very strong in sand, Dewitt lacks confidence on hard terrain but is improving. Talon Voland looks good on the JHK Kawasaki and at Beaucaire quickly settled on his new machine. Talon, down to earth and confident, is hoping to improve on the number 8 plate and claims to be in with a chance of the title. And watching him race, you couldn't be blamed for agreeing with him. World 125 champion Bob Moore is hoping that the year in the 125cc class will give him the sharpness to win a 250cc title. But a closed season fractured ankle has slowed his progress. He showed in 1992 and 93 that he's capable of racing and winning on the 250cc machine. After the hustle and bustle of the early rounds, Moore will climb the leaderboard until the season ends.
Bob Moore, welcome back to Europe. Not 100% fit Bob Moore though at the moment, is it?
No, I had a little bit of a problem in the last Supercross race in Bologna. I dislocated my ankle and broke my fibula, and so it put me on the couch all winter, and that's it. You know, I come back here. I came back about a week ago, and I just started riding. So I'm just taking it easy right now at first.
And we mustn't forget that you are the World 125 reigning champion, and last August, that seems a long time ago now?
No, not really. At home, I get up every morning and I think about it. It's starting to fade a little bit, but even that time when I had my cast on and I was at home, I still, have a good time, and I'll never forget that. That's for sure.
The early season form of Pit Byra has shocked many people, and if he can maintain current form, Byra will score a lot of points. He has the ability to do well.
Vanden Werf will design and fit an awning to suit your needs. Top awnings used by the top race teams. Vanden Werf can also supply marquees for private functions and parties. For your awning or marquee, no matter how small or large, call Vanden Werf now.
The 1995 World 250cc Motocross Championship got underway here in Spain at Talavera. 41 there, the Chesterfield Yamaha of Bob Moore, the 1994 125cc World Champion, trying his luck in the bigger class. Number 5 here, the HRC Honda of the British rider Kurt Nicol, riding with the Eric Gabor's managed team for 1995. Marnik Bavot's here, the Belgian, now the flagship of the Biaffi Suzuki team, with Greg Albertine, has gone to America. Robbie Herring, number 12, the second of the British riders, hoping for a better season in 95. Start inspection time, Bavot's there, Pedro Tractor and Bob Moore. Pedro Tractor moving up from the 125 ranks of last year. Moore, he's riding with an ankle injury that he picked up in a Supercross in December. Number 2 on his back, Stefan Everts, the Belgian rider. Could it be Stefan's this year to become the 250 world champion? Big crowd, 15,000, line the hills to see one of their local heroes here, number 70, Giuseppe Alonso, who set the crowd alight on Saturday with one of the quickest times in time training. 12, Herrin, the Brit, drops in beside the Frenchman, number 3, now with Chesterfield Yamaha, Di Maria. The Finn beside him there, number 33, that's Miska Aaltonen. 4, Bevorts. 33, Aaltonen. Then the Frenchman, Di Maria. Then it's Herrin. 5, that's Nickel. Those last-minute adjustments by Stefan Everts to his starting blocks. There's the green flag. We are coming under starters' orders for the first 250 race of the year. Breaths are held. Stopwatches are on the ready. The gate is about to drop. And it does. Here we go. 95 gets underway here in Spain. Who's got the whole shot? It's a lot of banging and bumping into that first corner. They all appear to be through. Nobody has hit the dirt so far. And let's see who it is. I think it's the German Pip Beirer as they come back into camera shot. It looks like Pip Beirer that leads number 43. Looking out for some of the favourite riders. Stefan Everts took a big tumble in Saturday's free training, so he's not going to be riding too well, but it's Beirer and Bevorts. The first two were looking back for Everts to see how he's faring. There he is. He really did injure his shoulder quite badly on the Saturday. A trip to hospital, that's certainly going to detune him for today's racing. Well, as they streak away on that first lap, it is Beirer that is really setting a blistering pace at the front. And there's the local Spaniard, that's Alonso. He really will be thrilling the local crowds. 3, Di Maria, the Frenchman. 41, that's Bob Moore. And in mid-pack there, number 6, that's Verna Dewitt, the teammate of Monique Bevorts. It's still Beirer, Bevorts and Alonso. So the local crowd here, 15,000 strong, really are going to be up in arms if he doesn't win. Beirer, Germany leads Belgium, leading Spain at the moment. And the battle is really beginning to rage. Royale behind those. Leon Gisbers and Talon Volan, the American, they're having a right ding-dong. But up front, it's still as it was before. The German, Pip Beirer, who leads on the Honda. Chased by the Bieffi Suzuki rider, Monique Bevorts. Then it's the Spaniard, Alonso. Voland and Gisbers. There is Everts, and he's got the Frenchman's Yves Di Maria right on his tail. We really are in for some exciting stuff here today. Race 1 then. 12, Robbie Herring, the British rider. Kurt Nickel already gone through. Beirer still leading, 43. Bevorts looking for a way, and look at this. This local lad who absolutely thrilled the crowd on Saturday is really flying the Spanish flag. Listen to them cheering for him. He's up to second. Well, it's Beirer and Alonso, and you can hear the crowd cheering. They're loving this. What an atmosphere. And Voland has got past Gisbers. There is Di Maria, number 3, and there's Nickel. Bob Moore up with Stefan Everts. Number 2 on the bike for 1995. Could it be a number 1 for next year for Stefan? It's a long season, and anything can happen, and usually does. As the rest come pouring through, there's Herring. Not a good start for Robbie. Having to work hard to get his way up the pack, but look at this. The German, Pip Beirer, and Bevorts goes back under the Spaniard. And Voland is there behind those two, so we really do have a scrap on for second place. There's Nickel, he's got Bartolini, and well, Bob Moore is in that group. There he is, the American. But it is Beirer at the moment, and well, look at this. The Spaniard having none of this, he's there in second. He's got Bevorts behind him, then it's Voland. Nickel is behind that group with a whole bunch of other riders, Bob Moore being one of them. Well, Aaltonen under pressure from Bartolini, and he's got him. The Finn losing a place to the Italian. riding the 1994 Chesterfield Yamaha for this year. His two teammates being De Maurier and Bob Moore riding the newer bikes, but not seeming to make a lot of difference. Volan looks to have gone up to third. So the American beginning to stamp his authority. There's Nicol, there's Bartolini, and there is Stefan Everts. That injury from Saturday obviously detuning the Belgian rider down just a shade or two. Some really big jumps here in this Spanish circuit, and the crowd are enjoying every moment of it. The battle is on between the top four. It is still Beira leading 43 from number 4, Marnik Bevorts. There's the Spaniard, and this is Joachim Karlsson, the Swede. Well, he's in a point-scoring position, but not a good start for him. As the rest comes screaming through, there's Everts. We're looking back for 33, just gone through there, Altonen. But it is still the German. What a blistering start to the 95 250 season for him. Bevorts, there's Volan. So the battle is on between those three at the front. And Bevorts looks to be catching. I think he's feeling the pressure from the American talent Volan. They are beginning to close up on each other. We could see a change very soon. There is the Frenchman, Yves de Maurier. The Brit Kurt Nicol not far behind him. Bob Moore must be feeling the effects of that ankle injury. Won his first World Championship last year, the 125 crown, after trying year after year. Herring. Robbie Herring riding Hondas for 95. A change from last year's machinery, but still with the same team. It's still as it was before. Bevorts, that Biaffi Suzuki, not able to lay claim to that first place position at the moment, but we've seen a change. Whoa! On the back part of the circuit, he must have found an extra bit of grip, because it's Marnik Bevorts that takes the lead. De Maurier, fourth, the Frenchman, and that, well, where's Nicol? There's Nicol. Back in around sixth position, the Brit. Bob Moore, well, he's hanging on gamely. He's in a point-scoring position, and there's Everts. Stefan Everts must be in a great deal of pain. And Volan now going after second place, so Pete Beira better beware. He's got an American stalking him. It is Marnik Bevorts then that leads for Suzuki at this first leg of the World 250cc Motocross Grand Prix here in Spain at Talavera. It's Beira for Germany second. It's Talon Volan for America on Kawasaki in third. Then it's De Maurier in fourth, the Frenchman, and look at this for a scrap. Bartolini going through. He's got the Spaniard now beginning to drop back behind him. Then it's Bob Moore, and there's Stefan Everts. That injury obviously having an effect on his ability. Bevorts has the lead. Where is Volan? And there he is. Well, Volan dropping back slightly off Bevorts. Now, where is Beira? Well, the question answered. Straight into the picture he comes. Beginning to sort themselves out as the race gets into its mid-stages. There's Nicol. He's got the Spaniard and Bartolini not far behind him, but the Spaniard Alonso beginning to drop off the pace. 40 minutes plus 2 laps, the duration of each race. 2 in all on the day. It's hard work. There's Beira. Volan's still there in front of him. Nicol going through. Beginning to open up the gap. Bob Moore, well, very bravely riding with that ankle. Still not able to walk properly, but I'm sure that as the season gets on, Bob will become a lot fitter and a lot faster. Marnik Bevorts, well, he's got this one at the moment fairly well sewn up. Talon Volan coming through, number 8 on the Kawasaki. Can he catch him? There's Beira, still in third. Well, here's the battle. There's De Maurier, the Frenchman, finishing third last year. Could have been better, but things just didn't quite come together for him from time to time. And it really is beginning to spread out as the race goes on. The 40 minutes beginning to have their toll on the riders. There's more. Up the hill he goes. Power into that Chesterfield Yamaha. Everts Well, he's keeping his head down. It must be hard for him. That shoulder giving him a lot of pain. And incidentally, he isn't riding with any pain-killing injections, as that's now not allowed. Bevorts. This is a great start for the Belgian rider. The now promoted first runner of the BFE Suzuki squad, with last year's world champion Greg Albertine leaving to race in America. It's all on Bevorts' shoulders, and so far he is doing the job grand style. As the rest come screaming through. Well, Bob Moore, he's still in there. He's still in a point-scoring position. But Bevorts has got the pace of this race. Where is Voland? And the answer is there. Number 8, the American Talon Voland. There's Byra. Where's DeMario? There's Bevorts. Well, it's all going good at the moment. There is Voland, and the battle is on between Byra and DeMario. Who's going to get the better of this one for third? They're on their last lap. Here he comes. It is Monique Bevorts taking 20 points and the win. Looking back for second, it should be the green Kawasaki of the American Talon Voland. And it's DeMario, the Frenchman, takes third. The German Byra then finishing fourth.
Talon Voland, a good result, change of team, change of country. You must be very happy at this moment.
Yeah, I'm really happy. It's the best start of this season ever for me. And now I just feel a lot of pressure off me. Once I got that second, now I got some points. I'm a lot less pressure for sure for the second moto, and I feel confident. I didn't get too tired. Also, it was the first time I ever ridden 40 minutes, so I was kind of pacing myself a little bit. Maybe I needed to move up more in the beginning. We can see next moto.
But with 40-minute races, you're very satisfied.
Yeah, I'm very satisfied. I've never done it before, and I did some training for 40-minute motos, but I don't know if it's the right training or not, but it looks to be just about right. I feel good.
Good. Thank you, Talon Voland.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Many people said that 40 minutes would suit you. You've now proved them all right.
Yeah, I'm really good on 40 minutes, but I was also good on the hard tracks now, and I wanted to win on a hard track my own race in the Grand Prix, because everybody thinks I'm a sand rider. Now they know I'm also good on the hard tracks.
And you've shocked a few people here today, but you knew that you could do it.
I knew I could do it, but nobody knows if I was going faster, but I won the 2 races in Belgium also last weekend, and physically I'm 100%.
Congratulations, a brilliant start to the new season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's presentation time, as always. Monique Bevorts, then the Belgium, takes the 20 points from race 1. Michele Rinaldi there, Team Chesterfield manager, with his brother as everybody makes their way out to the line for the start of Heat 2. There he is, the local favourite, Giuseppe Alonso, the Spaniard who thrilled everybody here on Saturday by setting fastest timing. Bartolini DeMario, number 3, hoping for a better finish in Heat 2, settles beside the local Spaniard, 41 Bob Moore. Alonso DeMario, 33 there in your picture. The Finn, it was Altonen. And everybody's waiting, the green flag's up. We should be underway. The crowd, 15,000 strong here today. It's sunny, lovely and warm. It's a great day for motocross. Under starters orders, here they go. 40 minutes plus 2, the new time for 1995. A little longer than last year, and it's beginning to show on some of the riders. Here they come, into the first corner. Oh, somebody's gone down. Oh, it's carnage. Absolute carnage in that first corner. Can't see who it was. And it looks like Bevorts on the Suzuki that's got the whole shot. Yes, indeed, but the Spaniard is second. Alonso thrilling the local crowds. He's taken second again. Incredible stuff. Swing wide at the top there, into that right-hander. They sort themselves out. It is Monique Bevorts from the Spaniard. Kurt Nickel, the Englishman. Then it's DeMario, Baudemont on the white Honda, and then it's Stefan Everts. It really is a battle at the moment. They are coming through, and well, there's Bob Moore. He's got his teammate on the inside, Bartolini. 71, that's Pedro Tractor, the former 125 rider from last year, having a crack at the 250 class for 95. Well, they've all picked themselves up and they've got underway again. Thankfully, I don't think anybody's been injured, but it's Bevorts that's got the run in the front. Then it's the Spaniard, then the British rider, then the Frenchman Di Maria. So Nicol and Di Maria locking handlebars, and look at this. The two Chesterfield teamsters, Moore and Bartolini. They've got the Finn, Miski, Alton sandwiched between them. And Misk, being, as he always is, a little awkward to get past. Bevorts at the front with no problems whatsoever, not having to eat anyone's dust. Nicol chasing the Spaniard. And Moore looks to have got through. They've got past Alton. Moore and Bartolini are on the gas for Chesterfield. Very spectacular circuit here at Talavera. Big jumps, big airtime for some of these riders. Bevorts gone through. The battle is on here for second, and it is Kurt Nicol chasing the Spaniard. Alonso, is he going to get past him? Then it's Everts. Stefan Everts, oh, it's Monet, Bartolini and Moore. Bader Monet on that Pepsi white Honda. The two Chesterfield lads closing on Bader Monet. Are they going to get past him? Well, Bevorts untroubled at the front, winning race one. It looks as if he's on course for race two. And Nicol still can get past the Spaniard. And you can hear the crowd cheering him. That must be urging him on to greater things. But it's a long race, 40 minutes, and it really is a test of stamina and strength. Oh, somebody dropped it. It looked like Monet that went down there. Bader Monet drops it, lets the two Chesterfield boys through. Oh, Bartolini's just stuck it into the fence. Well, he won't thank anybody for that. You've got to pick it up and get going again, but Andre Bartolini has thrown that chance well away. Bob Moore clear off in front of him. Bevorts, he's clear from everyone at the moment. He's got this race so well tied up, and look at Nicol. Kurt Nicol forsaken his own national championship to concentrate on the Grand Prix for 95. Stefan Everts coming through in fourth. Looking behind Everts, there's Moore. Well, that's a good ride, that's Monet. And we're looking for Volan. There he is, Talon Volan. Terrific finish in race one. Well, not such a good start in race two. But Marnik Bevorts there, number 4. Number 1 in the Suzuki Bieffi squad for 95. Kurt Nicol now has found his way past the Spaniard and he's up to second. Stefan Everts then goes to third, and Alonso must have lain it down somewhere in front of his home crowd. Bob Moore then goes up a place to fourth. Good ride from the American. As the rest come charging through, and amongst that group will be Talon Volan. But here is the leader, Marnik Bevorts, the 26-year-old Belgian, riding the race of his life here today. Everts recovering from that shoulder injury from Saturday's crash. Moore with the ankle injury. It's a bit of an injured star-studded cast at the moment in this Grand Prix second leg, but Bevorts beginning already to pick up on the back markers. This is where the problems can start to occur. Nicol, the British rider, concentrating this year purely on the 250 Grand Prix. Stefan Everts, number 2, dearly wants to make that number 1 for 1996. Bob Moore, the 125 champion of last year, he would love to win a World 250 Championship. Pedro Tractor just gone through 71. Here's Byra, and he's got Di Maria with him. The Frenchman beginning to get to grips with things. There's Volan behind Di Maria. So both of them have had a poor second race. But this man hasn't. He won the first one. He looks certainly on course to win the second one. Marnik Bevorts, number 4, the Bieffi Suzuki runner. Now number 1 in the squad. Kurt Nicol receives the applause of the crowd. The British multinational champion up there in second. Looking back for third, and it's this young man, the Belgian, number 2, Stefan Everts. Bob Moore, the American, number 41. Would he love to have a number 1 plate for 96? Tractor just gone through as we pick up the leader once again. Monique Bevuts, number 4. Then it's Nickel, looking back for third. It should still be Everts on the JHK Silkeline Kawasaki. Indeed it is. No changes in the top 3 at the moment. Bob Moore on the Chesterfield Yamaha is still there. Number 41 in 4. Oh, he got it wrong. Well, points out of 10 for artistic impression for Bob Moore. Very nearly receiving assistance from someone from the side of the circuit, which would have been a shame. Had that have happened, he would have been disqualified. No assistance allowed from the outside of the circuit during the race. But here is Bevorts to take win number 2. And he takes it, 40 points maximum. Then it's Nickel, a 5th and a 2nd. We're looking back for 3rd and 4th, and there is 3rd, Stefan Everts. And what a brave ride from Everts. Behind Everts, number 3, the Frenchman, Yves Dumouriez. Then it's Pedro Tractor. Then Byra, number 43, who led the first race for so long. And gallantly back on the bike, number 41, the American Bob Moore. And Volan, number 8, the American. Very happy team manager there, Sylvain Gabors, the manager of Biifi Suzuki.
Team Suzuki's Monique Bevots totally dominated the opening round of the 250cc World Motocross Championship. He won both heats aboard his RM250 Suzuki. Suzuki, do it now.
(1995) and the World 125cc World Motocross Championship kicks off here in Italy. Well, we have some absentees from last year. The reigning champion Bob Moore, Pedro Tractor, Pip Byra, Leon Gizmas and Bader Monet. They've all gone up to the 250 class. Michele Pigeon, the French youngster, he's gone to America to race. But here's a new boy on the block, 59. This is the American Jimmy Button, riding the Magic Bike Honda out of Italy for 1995. Practice got underway and, well, one of the local Italian riders deciding to get his name on the score sheet. The best crash of the week. Well, he seems to be okay. The question now is the bike? Yes. Big crowd, 7,000 plus turned out here for this first 125cc Grand Prix of the season. Jimmy Button then, the American. First time off the European gate for him, riding 59, and all eyes will be on Button, see what he can do. Two riders dropping from the 250 ranks to 125. There's Pouzard and Michele Fanton. Number 2, Kiko Quixote, the boy that really set everybody alight last year. Is it going to be his year for a world championship? Well, Button being the quickest man on the bike in time training, he gets the first choice of the gate. Pouzard there, the fans have come to see him race. Sandro Pouzard. Cameras are ready, spectators are ready, the board goes up, 15 seconds, 5 second spins around, that gate will drop. And Heat 1 of the 95 125 Grand Prix Series gets underway. Here they come. Into that first right-hander. Who's it going to be? A swarm of bees. Over the first jump, and whoa, it's high-flying stuff. And it's Pouzard that's got the whole shot. Sandro Pouzard is away in front. Now, where are the favourites? Strybus has just gone through. Where's Kiko Quixote? And there's Button, 59. Quixote gone through. Button, not a good start for the American. It's the Italian Camolengo now that has taken up the lead. So that's a surprise. There's Quixote. There is Stryber's just gone through. There's Button beginning to make progress already. You can't keep a good American down, as they say. But it's the Italian Eric Camolengo that has really shaken everybody up. And across the far side of the circuit, it is now a new leader. It's Claudio Federici, the Frenchman. He really was the delight of the crowd at the end of 1994. He's here in the 125 series for 95, and he's already beginning to set the pace alight. There's Quixote, number 2. It really is going to be a hard-fought battle. Stryber's just going through. Then number 11, that's Balducci. Then number 8 behind him, Delago, Mario Delago. It's close racing in the 125 category. They really do go for it, lap after lap after lap. High flying, high jumping, exciting stuff. Down the big hill they come. It's still number 15 leading, Claudio Federici, that has this one at the moment, and he's beginning to pull away. As you can see, the track beginning to shine up in places. Federici leads. Looking back for second, it was still the Italian Camolengo. Then 75 there in close proximity, that was Puzar. There's Button, 59. It'll be interesting to see what the American can do. He's got Davy Strybus, no stranger to Grand Prix racing behind him. Then it's still Argo, and there's the Brit Paul Malin. He changed down from the 250 Grand Prix of last year to 125s. Decision taken after his tremendous results at the Motocross Des Nations. Well, it's still a lead for number 15, Claudio Federici. And he really has cleared off and left everybody else behind. He was such a sensation at the end of last season, but expected he'd do well. 75 coming into your picture, that's Puzar. Another one of our immigrants from the 250 ranks, hoping for greater success in the 125 category. And Puzar losing out then to number 2, Quixote it is. Quixote gets past Puzar. It won't make him very happy about that, but the leader, Federici, is still there. Let's look at the gap that he's got. Number 30, the Italian Camolengo, Eric Camolengo. Really surprising everybody. Quixote still with Puzar. And there's Button. Well, he's beginning to close. He's still got Davy Strybus behind him and not dropping the Dutchman. So Strybus, as I say, no stranger to Grand Prix racing. He's been around for some years. But 15, Claudio Federici, coming back from a nasty injury he picked up at the end of last season when he crashed riding a moped in Rome. A car ran into him, broke his leg very badly, but he certainly doesn't seem to have affected his performance. Obviously a lot of out-of-season training. Quixote still got 75, Puzar there with him. So it's beginning to tighten up for second, third and fourth. No problems for this young man. Federici leads race 1 then of this opener of the 125 Grand Prix leg. His teammate there, the Italian Camolengo, in second place. So it's a good start for that team. Then it's Puzar. Behind Puzar, Quixote. And we're looking back behind. There's Button. So Button beginning to close on the group in front. Could see a tightening up of those lower places. That's Paul Malin, the Englishman, hoping for success and stardom in the 125 ranks for 95. Originally rode 500s, 250s, now down in 125s. He's certainly found his way around in the different categories. But it is Federici, number 15, into your picture, nods his head. He knows what's going on out there. He doesn't need to be told. He leads the race, and he leads it by a long way from his teammate, number 30, Eric Camolengo. Well, on his tail, 75, it's Puzar, Sandro Puzar. There's Quixote. So Puzar retaking Quixote. Malin, Paul Malin, the Derbyshire youngster from Great Britain, settling down into his first 125 Grand Prix race. But here he is, Federici, and no one can catch him. Not even his teammate, Camolengo. It'll be interesting to see if Puzar can get anywhere near him, but I don't think so, because Puzar still third. Can't get past the Italian Eric Camolengo, number 30. Well, let's look back behind that group. It's then Quixote, so that's fourth. Then behind Quixote, it's number 4, Strybus. And Malin has got past the American, but Malin had a terrible start. He's worked his way up through, and he's not finished yet, I feel. But this young man at the front, untroubled by anybody whatsoever. It's Federici, then Claudio. 1 lap to go for the young Italian. We're looking back, and yes, indeed, Puzar goes up to second. Then it's Camolengo, then Quixote. Malin going through. Oh, up goes Delago. Strybus. Last lap. And one of the Chesterfield mechanics looking just a little agitated for some reason. Well, this is one young man that's taking 20 points at the start of the season. Number 15, then Claudio Federici takes the win from Heat 1. And the scrap is on for second. It's going to be Puzar. And yes, indeed, Puzar. Behind him, 30, Camolengo. Then it was Quixote. So those are the top 4. And the Brit, Paul Malin, with a bit of track tape in his rear wheel, comes through to take the checker. Well, into the pits, Jimmy Button, the American. Not such a good race for him. And Puzar here had a crash 4 days before this event and has got a reported injury, a back injury, but let's hope that's not going to stop him from racing in the second race. A win then for Federici, and then Puzar, and Camolengo, the Italian, taking third. This is Quixote's machine being taken down to the Parc Fermé area before the start as the riders begin to settle for Heat 2. Paul Malin, the Brit, number 68. It's warm. 7,000 plus spectators. Quixote there preparing his starting blocks. It's all so important to get out of that gate quickly. Puzar coming down to the start, feeling probably just a little bit sore from race 1. Button it is, the man that set the fastest time in time training. He gets first choice of gate. So as Button, the American, settles himself down, Quixote comes in, second beside him, number 1 in the Chesterfield 125 squad for 1995. Then number 12 settles himself down. It's Mascio. Winner of race 1, number 15, Claudio Federici. Green flag goes up. They'll come under starters' orders in just a second or two. We've got a late starter coming onto the gate. The crowd wait anxiously. The 15-second board is up. 5-second board spins. Heat 2 of this 95 series will get underway in just a moment. And here they come. Who's it going to be? It looked like a Chesterfield bike on the inside. Well, we got somebody on the floor. And it's 93. Well, I'm not sure who that is. But his race is run, as one would say. Here they come. The 8th leader capacity really is spectacular. And it is a Chesterfield. And it's Quixote. He has Max Bartolini and Colin Dugmore there with him. Dugmore, another migrate from the 250 championship of last year. There's Puzar, 75, going through. Paul Malin, 68. As the rest of the pack comes screaming through. Jimmy Button, the American, 59. So Button, not another good start for him, but it's Quixote. And I think it's Dugmore. Yep, Dugmore's there with him, the South African, who incidentally at the moment is riding the Czechoslovakian championship. So Colin Dugmore on a West Suzuki. Up the hill they go. These boys can really throw these little 125s around. It's so spectacular. And look at this. Dugmore having a crack at Quixote, and Quixote goes back on the inside. So Colin Dugmore, he's determined he wants to win this one, but Quixote is having none of it. The Suzuki against the Chesterfield Yamaha of Kiko Quixote. And behind Quixote, it's number 15, winner of race 1, Federici. Then Bartolini, number 10. I think that was Vial on the inside of him, Frederick Vial. There's Pouzar and Button, they're together. And Milan, 68, going through. Then number 12 tucked in beside him, that's Mascio, the Frenchman. 25, one of the young lads, Tortelli, with Balducci right beside him. They're really having a tussle, those two, but it's Quixote. Now, where's Dugmore? Oh, he's there right with him. He's not giving this one up as Colin. Federici, still third, shadowing those two in front, just waiting for a mistake. Max Bartolini having a right good scrap with Frederick Vial as the rest of the pack comes screaming through. Malin with Mascio with him. So, what's going on at the front? That's what we ask ourselves at the moment. Dugmore chasing Quixote as the rest scrap for the places further down. Spectacular circuit here as the spectators look on. There is Quixote and there's Dugmore, so we've not seen a change at the front. Colin Dugmore obviously hoping to pick up a win. Federici third. This could give him, or should give him, the overall result. 7 just going through. Vial, right good scrap between these four at the moment. No holes barred racing, that's what this is called. 4, Davy Strybus. And there's that youngster once again, Sebastian Tortelli. He's having a good scrap there with Fanton. There's Quixote and Colin Dugmore, number 60. And Federici, well, he's there third. I think he's going to stay there. I think he's quite happy with that position at the moment. He's going to give him the overall result. Pouzar, 75. Remember, he's riding with that back injury. Very painful back injury. Jimmy Button with him. Then number 7 goes through behind that group. Vial. It really is at the moment anybody's position further down. They are scrapping for places, which is so exciting. The scrap is on at the front. Here is Quixote. We're looking back for Colin Dugmore, and it would appear that Quixote has pulled a gap. Yes, indeed. Dugmore may well have made a mistake somewhere, or has Quixote just turned up the wicker shade? Dugmore. Federici. Remember, he won the opening race, so he's on target for the overall. Looking back for 4th, and there he is, Pouzar, number 75. This is a brave ride from him. Then it's Button, the American. He's 6 at the moment. Then number 12 coming through behind that group. Mascio, and a tussle on here between Paul Malin and Sebastian Tortelli, the young Frenchman. Another one of these up-and-coming stars of the 125 Grand Prix ranks. Down the hill comes number 2, Quixote. He has this fairly well sewn up. Only a mistake or a mechanical problem would deny him, I think, a win now. Colin Dugmore settling, it would appear, for 2nd place. Federici seems to be happy with 3rd at the moment. Track beginning to shine up, getting quite slippery in places, and here comes Pouzar. Well, you've got to take your hat off to Pouzar at the moment. Sandro must be in a great deal of pain. Settles himself down. Then it's Button. Well, Pouzar's pulled away from Button. Well, that's quite surprising. Quixote it is. Leads the 2nd race here at this opening 125 Grand Prix. And under no pressure from 2nd place man, there number 60, Colin Dugmore. Or from 3rd place man, this youngster, number 15, Federici. Looking back behind, it's still Sandro Pouzar. Well, he'll be happy with this. On the podium in race 1, off the podium in race 2, but he'll still be happy with the points. Button, the American Jimmy Button, Then number 12, it is still there, Michele Mascio, the Frenchman. Behind Mascio, it looks like Tortelli. Sebastian Tortelli, but it is this man at the front. Number 2 takes the checkered flag then. A win for Quixote. Second for the South African Colin Dugmore, number 60 on the West Suzuki. He shows it off to the crowd. Then third for first race winner, Federici. He shows it off for the crowd. Well, certainly a great start to the season for this young Italian. Claudio Federici taking first and third, and the overall result.
The opening round of the 125cc World Championship was totally dominated by Yamaha. Claudio Federici and Alessio Quixote finished first and second aboard their YZ 125cc Yamahas, while Yves de Maria holds fifth position in the 250cc Championship. Yamaha, a breed apart.
Round 1 of the World Open Class Motocross Championship kicked off here in Portugal on a beautiful sunny day. Big crowd turned out to see the big bikes roar around this superb circuit. Number 2, Jackie Martins, and 99, the bike there of Trampas Parker, the former 125cc and 250cc world champion. Well, it is a day for good photographs, so the photographers loading their cameras. Number 3, Joel Smets. Number 11, Daryl King, the New Zealander, back from that injury that he sustained near the end of last season. Light breeze, very warm and sunny. As we said, a big turnout of spectators to enjoy the racing here in Portugal today. Up goes the 15-second board. That'll flip around to the 5-second board, and we'll get this first leg of the 95 World Open Class Series underway. The gate drops, and here they go. Very tight left and right hander there. Oh, very, very tight. They all seem to get through safely. Who's it going to be? That's 57. That's the Danish rider, Mikael Caprini. Well, there's a surprise for everyone. There's Schmetz Martins, followed by 17, the British rider James Marsh. And number 12, Rudy Van Leeuwen going through there. And there's Parker riding the 360cc KTM. He won the 125 championship for KTM, way back about 1988 now. As the leader goes through and the big thumpers come chasing after. There's Martins fourth behind Schmetz at the moment. Jackie Martins losing his world championship last year to Marcus Hansen, who unfortunately this year may not be racing due to an illness. Although he's actually changed down to the 250 category for 1995. But nevertheless, there's number 8, and that's Mervyn Anstey, being pursued by fellow Brit number 17, James Marsh on the Honda. Well, these 500 boys and 4 strokes ranging up to about 600 and so cc's. It's a bit of a mixture of categories and capacities now in this open class, with the 360 KTMs and the big 4 strokes, and there's one of them. Listen to that go through. Martins on the Husqvarna, number 2. He would dearly like to regain his number 1 plate. Hear them as they rattle through. Martins trying to get in touch with Smets. Those two really battled nail and tooth last year. It looks like they're on for another tussle this year. 8, Anstey, one of Britain's great hopes in this particular class. Moved up from number 12 last year to number 8 from this year. There's Parker trailing that goggle roll off. I hope that doesn't get in his back wheel. Martins still can't get past the old Smets. Here's the Kiwi, Daryl King, number 11. Britt Anstey going through there. Peter Dirks chasing hard. And here is Parker, Trampus Parker on the 360 KTM with the bunting trailing from his goggles. I hope that doesn't get tied up anywhere. There's the leader just going through. 45 Paddy Johansson's got Smets behind him. So, tussle on here for third. King, here he is, 11. The Kiwi trying to settle himself down. And Parker coming through behind him. Well, number 60 there, that's Mike Young, the American, on the Vertamati. Another new boy on the block, got Van Leeuwen behind him. Number 12, but the flags are out, so everything seems to be clear in front for these guys. They really are beginning to motor. Crowd lapping up the action. Daryl King, number 11 on the Quacker. Well, he's having not a bad race so far. First race in anger as Parker goes through. Well, we've got a change at the front. It's Smets now that leads from Martins. So we've lost Johansson. He's been off somewhere. There's a back marker just going through 76. And there is Paddy Johansson. So he's had a problem. So it's 3 4-strokes, 1, 2 and 3. And the battle between Smets and Martins begins again for a new season. These two rattled it handlebar to handlebar last year and finished second and third respectively behind the Swede Marcus Hansson. They really are starting to get the grips. Here comes the leader then, Joel Smets. And he takes the checkered flag. We're looking back for second place man. And it should be Martins. Indeed it is. And third then for early race leader, Peter Johansson. Well, fourth for Compranian. Look at that for a battle on the line. Whoa! Daryl King falling foul of Trampus Parker in the last corner. The presentation, it's Smets taking the win and the applause of the crowd. Jackie Martins and Joel Smets preparing for the start of the second leg. Mechanics, first aiders, they prepare themselves as well as the riders come down onto the line then. Up goes the 15-second board. Then we'll see the 5. There is the 15. And the second heat of this 95 Open Class Championship will be underway. 5 seconds. Gate drops, here they go. Who's it going to be? Whoa, big wheelie down the start straight from someone. Into that first left-hander, very tight. They go wide. Oh, they've all decided to go enduro racing. Back on the track. Who is it? It looks like Smets. Indeed it is. Joel Smets then goes into the lead in Heat 2. Then it's Caprani. There's King. That's Anstey. There is Parker, tucked up beside number 46, and that's Gio Vanelli. Well, Smets is off and running. Second place, it's the American Mike Young, number 60 on the Vertamati. There he is. First year in European Grand Prix racing, and he's not doing half bad either. Oh, Parker, 99, beginning to settle down. Smets leads. Oh, look at him being cheered on. They're obviously taken to this American here at the moment. The battle is on between Daryl King, number 11. There's Parker behind him, so it's certainly no foregone conclusion at the moment. The big Husaberg comes through, followed by the Vertamati of Young. That's your first two. Third place now, the Kiwi. It's Daryl King, and there is Parker. He's up there and beginning to challenge. Number 15 coming through, that's Johan Boonham. We haven't seen much of him today. First race of the season. Always takes a couple of races for some of these riders to settle into their paces. 45 just going through there. Paddy Johansson, who led the opening race, but it's Smets this time who leads this one. Then it's Young, and then King. And Parker. Well, Parker beginning to close on the other two-stroke. Well, we're going to have a battle between those two before the end of the race. But Smets He's out in front. Listen to that four-stroke. Here comes Young. Oh, that was close. Front end dipped in. Here comes Daryl King, and here comes Parker. They're beginning to close up. So we're going to see a race for the line for sure. Parker. Then 15, Johan Boonen, who is up in a good point-scoring position at last. Very consistent in 1994. That's Anstey and Rudy van Leeuwen on the inside. Giovinelli going through again. 45, Peter Johansson. Well, he's not had a good start in this one. Maybe one of those riders that went wide, but here's the man that's on the gas at front. Jol Smets leading this second leg of this Open Class Championship. Settling down, Parker is still there. He hasn't caught King as yet, but they're still closing on the four-stroke of Young in front. 15. Boonen goes through. There is Anstey, and he's now got Giovinelli behind him, so up goes a place Rudy van Leeuwen over Mervyn Anstey, the British rider. As the rest of the pack come through, battling for those remaining places and those extra points. And there's Martins. Well, Martins has had a terrible start to this one, way down the field. He'll have to work hard for maximum points. There's the leader. Jol Smets it is, coming through to take the checkered flag. Looking back for second, and it's Trampus Parker. We've lost Young. He's made a mistake somewhere. Parker going through. It's King then for third. Daryl King taking third. Where is Young? Back in about fourth. Well, top three. Schmetz takes the win and the overall result.
Characters can supply your truck, van or car with the latest designs in decals to give your vehicle a fresh look. Characters will design and fit decals to the style of your choice. Call or fax Characters on these numbers.
.125 motocross action moved to Spain for round 2 of this 125cc World Championship, and a big crowd once again turning out in the exceptional weather to enjoy this 8th leader racing. Michele Rinaldi there, the manager of the Rinaldi team. Everybody settling themselves down. Preparations, 59 there, the American. New boy on the block for 1995, Jimmy Button. Not a bad result from the opening round, but looking forward to better points here in Spain from round 2. He won, gets underway, and into that first right-hander they go. Very tight. And it's the Brit, the motocross Des Nations star Paul Malin, that leads the field away. Being chased relentlessly by a swarming buzz of 125s. Just listen to that. This is really exciting racing. As they head off across the first of the series jumps, it's Malin being chased by the Frenchman Mascio. And 84, that's the Italian Revaglia. Well, another bit of a new boy on the block, so to speak. Well, the rest of them arguing for places as they come through. 15 there, the boy that won the opening race at the first round, Claudio Federici, and he also took the overall. 12 in the lead now, it's Mascio. Malin goes missing. Big mistake on the other side of the circuit. He's lost it completely. Stryber's 4 just gone through. And they are scrapping. There's Jimmy Button, the American 59. Now Button really has something to prove. 2, Quixote. Not a good start for him. Going to have to work very hard. Just listen to those bikes scream through. 25, Tortelli just gone through, and there is the Brit Paul Malin. Well, almost from the front to the back. He's going to have to work hard if he wants points. It's Maschio, the Frenchman, number 12, then, that leads. Looking back, number 8 there behind him, Delago, and they really are battling for these positions. 30, Eric Camerlengo, he goes through. Oh, they really are having to work hard. Number 2, Quixote, got a terrible start. Way down the field at the moment. The leader, the Frenchman, Maschio it is. And not a bad lead either over second place man. Still number 8, Delago. And you can see there is not a lot to choose from them as they chase after him. Jimmy Button in amongst the thicker things there, trying to get past the riders in front to pick up better positions. 71, Fanton just gone through. He's had a bad start. It really is all about getting out the gate quick. But Maschio gone into the lead on the opening couple of laps, and so far he doesn't want to relinquish it. Still chasing Mauro Delago, number 8, second. Looking back for third, it looks like Strybus at the moment, but just look at this. They're all squabbling over 4th, 5th and 6th. And 2, Quixote beginning to close up on the riders in front, so really we could consider Quixote for a possible podium position. Still second there for number 8, Mauro Delago. Oh, look at this. Some of them beginning to get slightly out of shape as the track begins to rough up in places. Big jumps, big landings. Exciting stuff. Maschio, the Frenchman, still leading. Looking back for Delago. He was there and he still is. Second place. Not under too great a threat at the moment from, I think it's 84. Ravagelia. Button going through. Quixote beginning to pick his way through. He's got a lot of work to do if he's going to make the podium place. They really are scrapping for places. Fanton's still there with them. 25, Tortelli, the youngster. Some of these lads really are fresh-faced youngsters. 16, 17, 18 years of age. It's where the future champions come from, the 1-2-5 ranks. And look at this, Strybus beginning to close on the Italian. So it's beginning to hot up at the front. Well, that was Button going through, Pouzar and Quixote in front of Pouzar, so we are on for some stuff. The static is beginning to fly as the men at the front begin to really race for it. Board goes out, it's still Maschio. He's got a good lead under no threat whatsoever from second place man, which should still be Mauro Delago. And it is number 8. But this is where the battle comes on, the Italian, then number 4, and 81, Pouzar it is. And Pouzar still recovering from that injury that he rode with at the first round in Italy. But not stopping the man from piling pressure on the guys in front. That's a very brave ride. First 2 coming through. Second place man, Delago, still there as they come through where the finish area is. It looks like 1 lap to go on the board. Here's Pouzar. And then it's Strybus. We're looking back behind him. It should be Quixote, it is. Well, I really don't think we're going to see any major changes. Button coming through. Well, he's had a fairly good start to the season, Jimmy Button. Whoa, look at this. The youngster, Tortelli, really shoving the guy out of the track. And, well, a big wheelie there, a celebratory wheelie from Maschio. He takes the win. Second then with another wheelie, number 8, it is Delago. And Puzar, well, he decides to keep the front wheel on the ground. Top 3. Big cheer from the crowd as Mascio takes the applause. Second race then. 5-second board shows up. Gate's going to drop. Here it goes. Here they come into that first right-hander. Oh, it's tight. Oh, goes. Well, it's melee. It's carnage. Motorcycle bike wrecking time again. Well, who is amongst that lot? Oh, I'm not quite sure, but... Well, Federici gets away. He was involved in that. And so was Jimmy Button. Well, that's hard luck for the American. Now that, I think, is Paul Malin, the British rider. Yes, indeed it is. Paul Malin. I think he was the rider that went down on the outside and the rest decided to join him. But he's got back on the bike and listen to the crowd cheer him on. Paul Malin, certainly a hero here today, but he's at the back and he really doesn't stand any chance of getting back to the front. Into the lead then goes number 30, and that's the Italian Eric Camolengo. And they are battling. Number 8 there behind him, Delago. There's Quixote. Not a good start for him again. You've got to get out the gate fast in these 1-2-5s. Federici, bear in mind, he was one of the fallers on the opening lap. But look at Malin. Well, number 68, the Brit Paul Malin, is already beginning to close on some of the tail enders. But it's the Italian that leads at the moment. Camolengo, there's Stribus. Behind Stribus, it's still Delago. There's Puzar, number 81. Sorting themselves out in these opening laps. Quixote behind that group. They're on the charge. And we're looking for, I think, Paul Malin amongst this group. Frederick Vial, well, I can only imagine that he was caught up amongst that crash because Vial has had a terrible start. It's still the Italian at the moment at the front. He's got Bartolini, Max Bartolini with him on the TM. This will be a good result for TM. Puzar just gone through. There's Quixote. He's got Tortelli with him, so the youngster in the company of some great riders. The 1-2-5's being hoisted high over the jumps. Vial really beginning to wind it up. And Phantom there with him, number 71. There's Button going through. Well, it all goes wrong, and into the lead goes number 10, Max Bartolini on the TM. Well, superb at the moment for TM. If he wins this, it'll be the first Grand Prix result they've had as far as a win is concerned. Quixote, number 2 on the Chesterfield Yamaha. Having to work hard for points. 84 comes into the picture. That's the Italian. Ravaglia. There's Button, 59, the American, down on the first corner, but fighting back and fighting hard. Here he is, the TM boy. Oh, he's under pressure now from Stribus. So Max Bartolini should look out. Dutchman right in his tracks, beginning to drop back now, number 30. Early race leader, the Italian Eric Camolengo. Quixote picking up time, trying to pick up places, which will earn him points. Look at this battle. We've got the youngster on the Kawasaki, number 25, Tortelli, closing and battling with Delago. They're looking at their watches. How long to go? I should think in the TM camp they are really watching the watches. Out comes the checkered flag then, and it's a win. And just look at the jubilation. Number 10, Max Bartolini. I think that's his very first Grand Prix win. TM have won their very first Grand Prix leg. What a result. Just look at that. Max Bartolini wins for TM.
Motovision, the video magazine. Issue 2 of Motovision will be available on the 14th of May. It will include more 125cc action, this time from round 3 in Argentina. The 250cc action continues from Switzerland, Austria and Italy, while the open class resumes in Austria. Motovision, the video magazine.
Round 2 of the World 250cc Championship moves to Holland and Valkenswaard. The traditionally deep, sandy track, but it's been very dry here. Although it's quite cold and chilly today, the sand isn't quite as deep as normal. Mark Eastwood there and Stefan Everts eyeing up the start gate. A bit of gardening going on. There, the quick fuel tank of Kurt Nickel's bike. And Kurt Nickel, the HRC Honda rider, deciding that he's going to do a pit stop. First time ever in the history of motocross. Fuel testing Stefan Everts' bike. Ensuring that the fuel that's being used is legal. Verna Dewitt, number 6, comes down onto the line first. Then number 4, Monique Bivouts. Stefan Everts, the JHK Silkeling Kawasaki rider, settles himself down. And look at this, the Frenchman Demaria. He's got a problem with his rear brake. It looks as if he's saying to his mechanic, I've got no rear brake. Well, that's going to give him a lot of trouble here. You need brakes at this kind of circuit. Bob Moore, 41, still carrying that ankle injury that he picked up in the December Supercross. There's 5, Nickel with that unusual fuel tank on the bike. Most of the riders opting for the larger tanks. But Nickel with the aluminium factory tank on the bike, he's going to make a stop for fuel. First time ever. This I've got to see. 8. In the picture there, Talon Volan, the American. Here they go. Race 1. Who's it going to be? It looks like DeWitt. Yes, Verna Dewitt, number 6. And then it's Voland, Everts, Nickel. This deep sand will suck the power of these machines. There is Demaria minus a rear brake. Miska Altonen going through as the rest of the pack comes screaming into our picture. There's Bob Moore, 41. And it's DeWitt on the BFE Suzuki that leads from Voland and Everts. And they are carrying some phenomenal speed. Remy Van Ries, number 67, just gone through as they begin to pick up the pace on the track as it begins to roughen up, as these tracks normally do. We have got a real hot battle on here. Everts, whoa, back end of the bike, steps out in landing under power. But it looks like Voland has gone in front of DeWitt. So Talon Volan, the American, not traditionally known for being good in sand, he's certainly beginning to show the Belgians the way around their own circuit. Everts, 3rd. It's Nickel, 4th, with that HRC alloy tank you can see. The question now is, will that pit stop make any real difference to his overall result? We'll have to wait and see. 22. That's Jamie Scavenels. He's on a good ride at the moment. Oh, Altonen, he's having a scrap. Bob Moore is still in there as well. There's Mark Eastwood just gone through, number 23. And look at this, DeWitt, demoted by an American. There's Everts. Well, he did all the winning here last year, but he's not winning at the moment. Oh, we got a battle on DeWitt coming back at the yank. And he goes through. Oh, the crowd love that. Absolutely love that they did. There's Nickel. He hasn't stopped yet for fuel. Scavenels around that. Oh, it's great stuff. Pedro Tractor just going through. Up from the 125 ranks to 250s for this year. There's Scavenels. 22 being given the egg on. 11 coming through. Andre Bartolini. 14, this is Peter Ivan. And we're looking back. We seem to have lost Demarie. 41, Bob Moore. Not where he would like to be, but nevertheless still in with a chance of scoring useful points. It is still Dewitt and Volan under pressure now from Everts. Stefan Everts, the homeboy, so to speak. Remy Van Ries going through 67, being chased by 71 Pedro Tractor. And there's Nickel. Down the pecking order at the moment for Nickel. One can only assume that he's made a pit stop. The decision to stop instead of running the larger tank, well, we have our reservations about that decision, but he made it, so it's his decision. We got a battle on here. It's Everts all over the American. Talon Volan must know the Belgian riders behind him. We've lost DeWitt. So Volan has gone into the lead. Everts can now see a chance of picking up maximum points if he can just get past the American, Talon Volan. Well, this really will be one for the books. And there is DeWitt. Well, he's been off the bike, so he's now got Nickel behind him. Kurt Nickel riding the HRC, Eric Gabor's team, and oh, look at Everts. And Volan took the inside line, Everts took the outside line, but it's still Volan that leads. 71, Pedro Tractor. Behind him, 70, Leon Gizmers. And then Werner DeWitt. So DeWitt being urged on, Nickel closing on him. And it is now Everts, JHK, Kawasaki leading. He managed to find a way past the American Talon Volan. There is Volan, the second of the JHK boys, and here's third place. Well, that's 67, Remy Van Ries. So we've got JHK circling Kawasaki 1, 2 and 3. Gizmers on the Suzuki. Looking back behind Gizmers, but it's Nickel. And Kurt Nickel, well, not traditionally known as a great sand rider, but nevertheless still very consistent. And there's DeWitt. Well, he's dropped back, so Nickel passes DeWitt. Andre Bartolini going through number 11, but this is 33, Miski Altonen. And he's got Bev Orts, and Bev Orts, not a good day for him. Off the bike a couple of times. Got Bob Moore with him, as well as 23. That's Mark Eastwood, the British rider. Checkered flag then, gets ready and goes out for Stefan Everts and Belgium. Second then Volan, JHK 1 and 2 so far. Where's Van Ries? Is he there? Yes, JHQ 1, 2 and 3. What a result. 71 Tractor in fourth. Oh, they're going to be happy. There's Van Groot, the engine tuner. Well, DeWitt just explaining what happened to him as we take the presentation. It's JHK all over the podium. Little bit of mid-term entertainment with the local band. And the crowd thoroughly enjoying everything here today. Some great racing. Certainly is some magnificent racing. As the second heat goes down onto the line, goes under starters' orders. Here they come. Who's it going to be this time into that first corner? Oh, a whole lot. 40 riders. Someone's gone down. We've got carnage. Can't see who it is. That's Mark Eastwood, 23, and 67, That's Remy van Ries finishing third in the race, first race. He's on the floor, so that's blown his chances. It's Everts in front. Stefan Everts leads Heat 2 away. Supreme here in 1994 was Stefan, winning both of the races. Is he going to do the same in 1995? There's Nickel. He's got Dewitt right beside him. They are battling for those places. Oh, smoke. Someone just collected the tyre. Very noisily joined the spectators. Oh, he's back on the bike. But here's Everts at the moment leading, number 2. So much would he like to get number 1 on that bike. It's the Frenchman, Yves Demarié then. And 71, Tractor is third. Nickel going under DeWitt. A good battle beginning to emerge between those two. And DeWitt, acclaimably the better of the two in the sand, but Nickel arguing about that at the moment. There's Volan. Well, not a good one for Talon Volan. Bob Moore up along Marnik Bevorts, the young man that won both of the races at the opening 250 Grand Prix. Bob Moore beside him, Altonen in front of him. Stefan Everts looking to repeat what he did last year, and Demarié has got Tractor right in his wheel tracks. There's Nickel climbing all over Gisber's number 70. Oh, it's really beginning to hot up. There goes Voland. Bevort's being cheered on by the home crowd. Bob Moore. And we've got a problem. Oh dear, that looks like Bevort's. He's got a problem with the bike, it would seem. Marnik Bevort's. Oh, he's disgusted. Absolutely. I think that's the chain that's gone. Absolutely disgusted with himself. Well, it's just one of those things. Stefan Everts then leads Heat 2, and he's looking good for a win. We're looking back for second, and it's Tractor, the Dutchman, Pedro Tractor. Then it's the Frenchman, Yves Demarié. Then DeWitt and Gisber's coming through. Nickel behind those two. So it's not over yet. 13 going through, that's Carlson. The pit boards are going out. They're preparing themselves for the victory celebrations. Well, Julian Dobb there, that's the mechanic for Kurt Nickel with that quick fill system. Onto the top of the tank it goes. How long is it going to take? Well, that's how long it took. He stopped the bike. He would have had to. Started third kick, and out he goes. Very lucky not to take the cameraman with him. So there it is, the quick fill device made just for this occasion. The question now is, has it done him any good? Flag comes out then. Here he is, Stefan Everts. Takes the second win of the day, a repeat performance of last year. Looking out for Verna Dewitt. Here he is, second now. And behind Dewitt, it should be the Frenchman, Demarié it is. Pedro Tractor was there as well, and Peter Ivan, and Kurt Nickel finished 7th, despite the fuel stop.
In Spain, in time training, big crash. And Sunday was not so bad. But today you must be over the moon with the result.
Yeah, last weekend was not a good result, but after the crash, it was a good result. I was happy and satisfied that I took some points. Yeah, and today I win 2 motors, and it's for me very good. I'm feeling good now.